house, and yeah, he seems really happy. Sometimes I think about you, and I think about Jared on occasion. No, what's up, buddy? You go over there all by yourself. I like that. Good to see you, man. You're looking good. What you got going? Oh, doing great. Tuesday night. I was telling somebody the other day that me and my girlfriends, my boys, we go over to Spindler's Park, and we get to smoke weed and play frisbee. And I go, remember when you used to actually get out of your, house and go play and do things and, whatever? And I had this one girlfriend, Rachel. She wore these moccasins up to here, French, and she had a there you go. What? She was red. Oh my God. You know what? I looked her up on Facebook about a year ago. Scary. Yeah, thank God I never went anywhere. All right, guys, thank you. Good seeing you. Good seeing you.
Yeah, and I still do it because I watched it.
Hello, everyone. We'll call the Tuesday, May 7th, 2024 Eastpointe City Council regular meeting to order. It is 7 p.m. And everyone, please rise for the invocation given by Dan Zander, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Gracious God, we thank you for this council meeting tonight. We pray for all the we have to do tonight, our business meeting, our here in the public meetings, and we just wanted to pray for our Mother's Day coming up this weekend. Pray for all the mothers and families. And another thing we wanted to do is just be with us all, and be with our firefighters and police department and our friends here in Eastpointe. Let this meeting go through, please. And we just wanted to let you guys that we have to do it. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you very much. Please call the roll.
Might I just mention, while I miss all of you, I'm happy to be back down here. Welcome back, City Manager. Councilmember Baker. Councilmember Curley.
Yes. Here.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Here.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Here.
Councilmember Pashadlik,
Here.
All right, moving on to approval of the agenda. Would anyone like to make a motion?
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Pashadlik,
Yes.
All right, moving on to the first hearing of the public. The first hearing of the public is now open. Would anyone wish to be heard?
I'm setting my clock for, my stopwatch for 3 minutes because I was told you get tased if you go over 3 minutes. My name is Bob Vitale. I'm an attorney in the community. I grew up in St. Clair Shores, 10 Mile and Harper. I was a Harper Woods police officer for 18 years, and I currently reside in New Baltimore. I'm here to address the council regarding recreational marijuana. It's my understanding that the council is currently drafting an ordinance regarding recreational marijuana. The reason I'm here to address it is because in New Baltimore, we had exactly the same issue. I will say with full disclosure, I have no interest in any dispensaries. I have no interest in any marijuana grow. I derive no income from any kind of marijuana. I have no dog in any fight there. This is strictly what I believe that's something that could help you. In New Baltimore, we had 4 dispensaries open almost immediately upon the recreational marijuana. The New Baltimore City Council was very progressive, and they drafted the ordinance very quickly and established 4 different dispensaries. Within 1 year, one of the dispensaries was already gone. It had went out of business. And the point I'm trying to make to the City Council is, first, thank you for being progressive. Thank you for entertaining these ideas, because when these people come into your town, they don't come into your town just to buy recreational marijuana. They come into your town, stop at the gas station, the 7-Eleven, the CVS, and patronize your community in a lot more ways than that. However, if you authorize too many of the recreational dispensaries, what happened in New Baltimore will happen here, and they will not be profitable. It is better to have less dispensaries that are more profitable than more dispensaries that are not, because they will not be beneficial, is the word I use to the city. As one New Baltimore City Council person said to me, Bob, do you know how many fire trucks that money buys? Do you know how many police officers that buys? Do you know how many police cars that buys? When they come into this community, because I'm going to speak from just myself, I would rather come into Eastpointe and buy my recreational marijuana than go to Detroit. I find Eastpointe to be much more safe and much more family orientated. And lastly, it's my understanding that the City Council did a very severe vetting process with regards to the medical marijuana, and that it approved 3 medical marijuana licenses. And again, I'm not part of the Planning Commission, but it's my understanding the Planning Commission was steadfast to stick to 3 recreational marijuana dispensaries. I would say that would be the right amount for this community, with 1 being north, 1 being central, and 1 being south, to cover all of the things. But just proceed with caution when you're talking about the number of dispensaries. Because again, if they're not beneficial if they can't be profitable, they're not beneficial to the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Would anyone else wish to be heard?
Now you're up.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Nicholas. I'm an Eastpointe resident. And first of all, good evening, Mayor and council members. It's nice to see all of you in person. I wanted to speak a little bit tonight about the Kelly Road project. First off, I don't think many people are aware of the Kelly Road project or what it entails. In fact, I was just speaking with someone that doesn't know what I'm talking about. I have some concerns because I know, there was an open house back in March that was not really very well attended. There was a survey online that people could take that I think there were maybe 82 Eastpointe residents that actually answered the survey. A lot of the survey was geared toward what people would like to see as far as aesthetic things, landscaping, outdoor dining, things like that. The presentation that you're going to be going over tonight focuses on road reconstruction and redesign for Kelly Road. And I do not think that people are aware of this. I feel that that's going to impact a lot of residents negatively, specifically between 9 and 10 Mile Road, which is pretty much 100% residents. There are not only single-family homes there, but there are a lot of multi-unit co-ops and apartments. So you're talking hundreds of people that are on Kelly Road. One of the designs shows that we would be getting rid of the center median, and instead of having 2 lanes of one-way traffic separated by the median, we would have all traffic going 2 ways. I feel that's kind of more dangerous for people that have to enter and exit off of Kelly. The plan itself is being promoted as making traffic safer, but the safety statistics that are in your presentation show that for the entire stretch of Kelly Road from 7 Mile to 10 Mile, there are roughly 6 traffic accidents per month. Between Ash Avenue and 10 Mile, which is all Eastpointe, there are less than 2 traffic accidents per month.
You have 30 seconds.
75% of these accidents are non-injury accidents. There was 1 fatality in Harper Woods back in 2019. I feel that Kelly Road currently, the construction is very safe, and promoting this plan as making things safer is not valid. I think people are very supportive of revitalizing businesses and the facades and making things look nice and appealing, but I don't believe you're going to get much support with road redesign. And
Thank
that's
you.
probably my 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard?
Hi, my name's Chelsea Head. I've been a resident about 4 years. And I just wanted to reintroduce myself in person. I emailed the council members with interest in being a part of the social media subcommittee. I have 6 years of social media management, from actually doing the social media posting, content creation, all the way through writing standard operating procedures. So yeah, I'd really like to join your team. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard? Anyone else? Seeing none, the first hearing of the public is closed. We'll move on to approval of the minutes. Item A, meeting minutes from April 16th, 2024. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I would move to accept the minutes of the regular meeting of April 16th, 2024.
I'll second that.
All right. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley? Sorry, Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Bashadlik?
Yes.
All right, moving on to scheduled hearings. There are none. There's no unfinished business. Reports from administration. We'll go to Ms. Mariah Walton. Welcome back.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. First, I'd like to thank Kim for taking on such an incredible task these last couple of months. I really appreciate you taking that on and doing such an incredible job. You're a great asset to the city. So I'll start off with 9 Mile building demo. It has actually started today. The contractors have slated that to take just a week. So if you're interested in seeing that process, stop over. I know someone else on this dais has already seen the starting process of that demo, but for those of us that like seeing that demo process, that that has begun. The lead line replacement program is ongoing. We have 2 contractors in the city that are replacing lead lines, nearly 3 of them a day, 3 lines a day per contractor, so we're getting nearly 40 lines completed each week. The Gratiot Water Main project is also ongoing. There is a tie-in starting tomorrow at 9 in Gratiot, so there will be some drastic lane changes. There are no closures scheduled, but it is possible based on a 24-inch main going in there. If anything unexpected happens, there may be closures, but it's not expected at this time. We do have significant code enforcement complaints, so I do want to send out a warning that we are having code enforcement coming on the weekends to address some of those complaints. Some of the complaints are just happening on weekends, specifically trash at commercial businesses. We do have some trash that's happening after trash day, so if there's anything left out on your curb after trash day, please be aware code enforcement will be out. They will be putting 24-hour notices, and there is a charge if DPW does have to remove those. But code enforcement is kind of hitting heavy, especially with the the grass cutting. So our contractor has also gone out for the grass cutting for tall weeds and grass. So anyone that is in violation of that will also have their grass cut. The notices have been published in the paper and also in several other areas of the city. So that is also continuing and ongoing through the next several weeks. We have a new member on our team, Chief Haynes, I hope I say his name right, our K-9 officer, Digo, and Officer Severini is our new K-9 handler, and they're both going out to training for the next several weeks. So we're excited to see him out, hopefully at the Gratiot Cruise and at things continuing. And thank you to Officer Severini. While it's an incredible opportunity, it's also a significant task to take on, being a K-9 handler, keeping him really with your family the entire time, maintaining him. That's everything that the dog needs, he really takes on. And so taking that on is an incredible task to serve the community. So we appreciate him as well. We have Arbor Day coming up. I know we have some information that'll be going out soon on May 18th in conjunction with the community garden where they have tree seedlings, crafts for kids and some tree planting. So if you're interested in that on May 18th at 10 a.m. over at the community garden, please join everyone. Our economic development team and our CDAM fellow will be there promoting our sustainability and tree planting initiatives that are going to kick off this spring. And lastly, I'd like to say congratulations to our HR manager, Vicki Brooks. She is just completing her next degree in human resources law, and she's graduating in the next couple days. So congratulations, Ms. Brooks. And with that, I can answer any questions that Mayor, Council may have.
Anyone have questions?
Just a couple things. Welcome back, Mariah. It's so good to see you again.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I was going to request that, speaking of the community garden, if we could put that lease proposal for the Eastpointe Community Garden on our agenda.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And that's all I have.
All right, does anyone else have any questions? Okay, we'll move on to Finance Director's report. Mr. Blum.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Couple items before we get to the budget amendment. There's a few typos, errors. When the motion is read, the budget amendment is BA 24-04. It states 02 in the motion. So if whoever's reading it could be cautious of that. And on the written part, the last item under general fund, it references a SEMCOG grant and mentions Harper Avenue. We are not spending money in St. Clair Shores. It's Kelly. So in case anybody reads that and is scratching their head, my mistake. And that's all I have. I'll talk more about the budget amendment at that time.
All right, does anyone have any questions for Mr. Blum? All right, we'll move on to City Attorney's report. Mr. Albrecht.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. In light of this evening's closed session, I have a very short report this evening. Council is in receipt of our monthly status report. I'm certainly happy to answer any questions about that.
Any questions? All right, moving on to new business. Item A, approval of the budget amendment, BA 24-04. Mr. Blum, did you want to speak to this before we get to it?
Yes, there's a write-up here, but for the public, I'll give some highlights. We're doing amendments for some various grants that we've received. One is Help America Vote grant, and another one is for the court. They have actually 3 different grants being spent over the next 9 months. So the court's got some money. Of course, Mark Harper Avenue study. That was another grant for the Kelly Road project. So there's been some revenue increases there. One of the big things I want to point out is the investment return. There's an increase in the budget of $340,000. That's directly related to the higher interest rates that are out there. And then the opioid settlement, we did receive that check, and the budget amendments reflecting that. On the expense side, there's been a drastic increase in the vehicle maintenance over at police. As you previously approved the chief to go out and get some new vehicles, there had been a delay in leasing of vehicles, and some of the vehicles are getting older and the costs are going up, and that's why we like to churn that fleet. So there's an increase there. And then an increase in building and rental cost that reflects the delay in hiring of a building official and the extra mechanic cost. What else we got of interest here? Nothing there. Got an additional CDBG project, an increase of $150,000 in both revenue and expense for another solar light project. And then on the drain debt, after last year's budget was set, we got final numbers from the county. There's a significant increase in the drain maintenance cost. However, that fund had or has some excess money there, so that's not actually a problem. We've been trying to reduce that amount. This just did it quicker for us. So overall, we're in pretty good shape.
Great. Does anyone have any questions on the budget amendment? Would anyone like to make a motion?
Sure, Mr. Mayor, I'll motion that we approve budget amendment BA 24-04 as presented.
Is there support?
Support.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Moving on to item B, amend resolution numbers 24-1973 and 24-1974 to correct the numbering. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Sure, Mayor, I'll vote a motion that we amend the resolutions approved on April 16th, 2024. Resolutions number 24-1973 and 24-1974 to the correctly numbered resolutions 24-1975 and 24-1976 respectively.
Support.
Your call. It was even.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld.
Yes. Moving on to approve the recommendation of the, moving on to item C, approve resolution number 24-1977, 78, and 79 to submit applications to the Michigan Department of Natural Resources grant programs. I think we've already gone over this, so I'll just ask if anyone would like to make a motion or make one of the proposed motions. Right, did anyone have questions on this then?
I guess one quick question. I thought that we said all these were due April 1st, so how can we submit anything after that, I guess?
Mr. McCain, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and members of council. The grant applications were submitted as Councilmember DeMonico uplifted on April 1st. They do a preliminary review, after which point, if anything is missing, we have until May 15th to submit those items. So we did actually have the motion to move forward with the 3 different proposals. However, the DNR does require a formal resolution from council for each of those proposals. So we're not necessarily asking for anything different, just the formal resolution versus the motion that you made last month.
And we did have a special meeting and directed administration to go ahead with the proposals. So I think personally, we made you go through the work of submitting them. So I think we need to approve the resolutions to supplement those applications. And would anyone like to make a motion? If not, I will. All right. I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 24-1977 to authorize the submission of Spindler Park Path Shelter, Light, and GSI improvements, application to the Michigan DNR Natural Resources Trust Fund Grant Program.
Support.
Any questions?
I was just gonna say, I think at that special meeting, I voted against just this first one, so I'm just gonna stay consistent with that, I guess, but I'm happy to vote for the other two.
Sure. Please call the roll.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes?
Councilmember DeMonico,
No.
Councilmember Shadlick.
Yes.
All right. Well, would you like to make a motion on the second one?
You just don't want to read these paragraphs.
I can do it.
I got it. All right. I'll move we approve resolution number 24-1978 to authorize the submission of the Kennedy Park splash pad application to the Michigan DNR Land and Water Conservation Fund Grant Program.
Support.
All right. Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes?
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick.
Yes.
And would anyone like to make a motion for the third resolution?
Sure, since this is the shortest one. To approve Resolution 24-1979 to authorize the submission of the Shamrock Basketball Court, yay, and walk path application to the Michigan DNR for the Passport Grant Program.
I'll second that.
All right. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes?
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Moving on to item D, approval of the recommendation from the Planning Commission to approve the Kelly Road Corridor Complete Streets Plan.
Good evening
Someone
again.
from McKenna?
Yep, going to turn it over to Brigitte, and then I'll hop in at the end before we take questions with just a little
Okay,
bit of
thank you.
additional
All right.
information.
Hello, Mayor and Council. So my name is Brigitte, and I am a planner with McKenna and the zoning administrator here with the city of Eastpointe. And I'm here this evening to present to you the Kelly Road Corridor Improvement Report, as well as discuss the Safe Streets for All Planning and Demonstration Grant, which we propose submitting a joint application with the city of Harper Woods to proceed with the next more thorough planning phase. So this report that's presented before you this evening is to summarize the preliminary work that we've done with the steering committee that was supported by the SEMCOG Planning Assistant Grant. And the reason that we pursued this grant is because, we've heard on a number of occasions and, primarily even throughout the master plan process in 2018 and adopted in 2019, was that residents, business owners, community members alike would like for a more walkable Kelly corridor and to address the storefront vacancies and, making it more attractive and enticing to a variety of neighborhood-oriented businesses. So we looked to the SEMCOG Planning Assistant Grant to start actualizing those plans, and this phase was really an opportunity to work with our regional partners and establish a working relationship with the city of Harper Woods, as well as the city of Detroit, and a number of other stakeholders so that we could look at creating a regional corridor improvement plan. And so the components that we ended up focusing on as recommendations for the next planning phase is categorized in two parts. The first part is a streetscape redesign, and the second part is an economic development strategy. So for the streetscape redesign, Kelly Road is very unique in that there is a very wide public right-of-way. So there's a lot of space to work with, and we see this as a great opportunity to be able to support all modes of transportation, as well as create more public spaces for placemaking and to support business activity. So whether that's through allowing for businesses to have outdoor dining opportunities in the public right-of-way, or even supporting special events like designating and creating sidewalk space for markets or artisan fairs, events like pop-up events like that. And yes, we also look to, again, support all modes of transportation to not only bring in more foot traffic, but allow for different transportation, safer transportation routes for pedestrian, cyclists, and motorized vehicle users. And so we really recommend honing in on the concepts promoted through Complete Streets as well as Vision Zero. Complete Streets just means that you provide a clear, designated, and safe pathway for all motorized and non-motorized transportation users. And then Vision Zero is actually proven strategies that eliminate severe traffic injuries and accidents, whether it be with vehicle to vehicle, vehicle to pedestrian, pedestrian to bicyclists. And again, there's been case studies. Some that come to mind is like Hoboken, New Jersey. Baltimore, Maryland has also been successful in implementing these strategies and have actually eliminated altogether severe and death-threatening accidents. And so we see an opportunity to eliminate and just create a more safe feeling as you travel down the corridor as well, again, for all modes of transportation. And so we did take it a step further instead of just talking about these ideas at large, and we did start putting together some concepts to show what might be possible or the directions that we could go to start really to initiate conversations and start bringing awareness to how we could incorporate all modes of transportation along the corridor. So we see a combination of land uses along, especially the Eastpointe section. There's residential on both sides. There's a mix of residential and commercial, and then we have commercial and commercial. And so just these concepts designs are not anything concrete or showing this is exactly what we're working to implement. It's to show how through all of these different combination of land uses, we can incorporate a complete streets concept throughout the entirety of the corridor. And so we're seeking the Safe Streets for All grant to be able to take that to the next step and actually flush out a design from 7 Mile to 10 Mile, working again with the different municipalities, counties, and all of the other agencies that would be involved in actualizing those changes. So again, these concepts were just to initiate ideas, initiate conversations, and show what may be possible. We heard a great deal of support for activating the center median. It's a cherished component of the Kelly Road corridor from all the way from 7 to 10 Mile, but there's a great amount of interest in not only adding crosswalks, but even adding a walkway through the median, adding seating opportunities in the median, adding further enhancements, and again, adding business-oriented amenities and a lot of pedestrian-oriented amenities, so shading, landscaping, seating, et cetera. And then the second part of this is we looked at, okay, what are additional strategies that we will need to work on to further engage this, activate this corridor and bring awareness, not only in terms of new businesses, but also bringing further patrons to the area. And just further supporting the anchor businesses and businesses that are currently existing now. So we do talk about concepts like creating a corridor improvement committee that again would be across city and county boundaries that would help actualize and implement a facade improvement program, as well as continue to maintain and bring further enhancements to the corridor in the future as well. So pretty much just looking at ways that we could sustain the efforts beyond this initial planning and investment phase. So with that, we did have a number of opportunities for public engagement. We had information online, the survey, the open house event, but again, this was just the initial outreach, and we really wanted to start conversations, but there's a great deal more of work to be done, especially in terms of public engagement and the streetscape design itself. So that's why we're really encouraging you to apply for the Safe Streets for All grant. And we've been working to prepare it with AEW. so that we can have a competitive bid for this federal funding. That really is a unique opportunity that was supported by the bipartisan infrastructure federal bill that will expire in 2026. So applying for the planning demonstration grant for next year sets us up for a competitive opportunity to receive federal funding to actually implement these changes and make it truly a more walkable corridor. And again, we encourage taking the regional approach, especially with losing Eastland Mall. We see this as a great opportunity to really create this regional corridor and establish recognition for all that Kelly Road currently has to offer and will be able to further offer in the future. So with that, I can talk in more detail about the grant application or the report itself, but we are seeking a motion of adoption of the report this evening, as well as a motion to support the grant application and the local match. And again, that would be split between the city of Eastpointe and the city of Harper Woods to continue further joint efforts on planning for enhancements to the Kelly Road corridor.
Can I ask one thing? Because I just want to be clear. I think you were sitting here when you heard the concerns from Ms. Nicholas.
Yes.
So I know that part of this funding would be used for public engagement. Just to be clear,
Yes.
Does that include residents too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. And we would like to even, again, because there are other different land uses along the corridor, we want to make sure that, again, it's a complete street throughout the corridor, but that we have engagement opportunities honing in on specific focus areas so that we can really find the special needs that, where, I don't know, really honing in on the micro level and taking the opportunity with this funding that would support those engagement efforts.
Okay. Did anyone else have any questions? All right. Mr. McCain, did you want to add something?
Yes, just really quickly, I wanted to thank Zoning Administrator Wolf and the entire steering committee for taking part in this process, as well as everyone that completed a survey and, attended the event. Community engagement is challenging, but, I think we did, for the limited amount of funding and time that we had in this process, as much as we could. So I just wanted to touch on a few of those things. A flyer for the engagement event was mailed out to every single address between 7 and 10 Mile Road on the corridor. In addition to that, flyers were also hand-delivered by the Economic Development Department to every address on Eastpointe between 8 and 10 Mile. In addition to promoting the event through those ways, the flyer did have a QR code on there, so even if they couldn't attend the event, they knew about it, and the QR code would take them to the survey. So could we have gotten more engagement? Absolutely. If we're awarded the additional funding, will we, continue to seek ways to further engage the community? Absolutely. And I was even more encouraged watching the Planning Commission meeting last week that a couple of the commissioners personally volunteered their time to help us with engagement. So community engagement is an effort of the whole community. So if there are folks, as we go through different planning processes, continuing this one, the master planning process in the future, we want to continue to find ways to get the word out and get the input from the community, because that's what makes sure that these planning processes and when we actually go to implement them, that they're reflective of the wants and needs of the community. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions?
Well, maybe just one comment. First of all, I'm very excited about it. Second, I think after having been involved in a lot of municipal government things, I thought the turnout was actually very good for that event. There's always more to do, and it's always an ongoing thing to do that, but I thought it was very good turnout for an event. I mean, it's hard to get people out to an event like that, or really any event, that we do. So I thought it was a good start for sure, and yeah, we'll definitely do a lot of talking over the next couple of years before, we get to any shovels or anything.
Received this document from y'all at about 50 pages long.
Yes.
But I'm excited, just particularly after looking at the suggestions and the pictures and what you have in mind. And I know this is not the final document, but what you're proposing is great. It's mind-blowing, actually. So we're going to support that and see what happens in the final document.
Would anyone like to make a motion?
So you want the first motion just as written here, motion to approve the Kelly Road Corridor Complete Street Plan, authorize the submittal of the joint application to the United States Department of Transportation, Safe Streets for All funding opportunity, and approve the allocation of matching funds in the amount of $86,667 if the grant is awarded, and further authorize the city manager to execute all documents necessary for the above.
Yeah, I'll second that.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes,
Councilmember Shadlick,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to item E, award a bid for the audit services fiscal year 2024 through fiscal year 2028 audits. Did anyone from administration want to speak to this, or if not, then?
I can just briefly, we went out for a bid. We received 5 bids back. Our current auditors, Plant Moran, and 4 others. The deputy finance director and myself went through them, reviewed what they were offering and their pricing. Pretty much came to the same conclusions on all of them. We believe 2 of them are probably a little bit too small to handle our account. 2 non-Plant Moran firms could handle us, but one offers more services that we're more accustomed to from Plant Moran. I did not make a recommendation because I know council also has relations with Plant Moran. If you're looking at pure pricing, it would be Yo and Yo, even though I do know that we will get extra bills on top of that because they will bill us for new GASB pronouncements and things like that. That was in their documents. But over the 5 years, it's a $162,000 difference, which is significant enough to consider.
Can I jump in and ask him more about the extra, I mean, it was a lot of pages for sure for all of those firms. But the bid sheets we did say like not to exceed. Are you saying what you're talking about is not included in these pricing sheets? Because to me, if we do the audit with them, they can't charge more than what is on.
For the audit itself, they would not. But for a GASB implementation, Plant Moran just handles that as part of their fee, where Yo and Yo specifically states there would be an extra charge. There are a number of GASBs coming out over the next few years. Not all of them impact Eastpointe, but some of them will. And as those get implemented, and I have to work with the auditors on getting those implemented, there will be extra charges. Raymond doesn't offer any of that service to help get them implemented. They expect us to just go do it, and they'll audit us and tell us if we did it right. Plant Moran makes sure we do it right before we do it. Yo and Yo will do the same, but there will be an extra charge. I do not believe it will be anywhere near $162,000. But just be aware there will be more than what is listed here.
How come we didn't include that for the, like, RFP?
Well, we did. We requested it to be bid that way. They did not come back with that offer of having it included.
Does anyone from council want to chime in?
I have a quick question. So with respect to, you said 2 firms were not actually able to handle?
Just because of the size of their company and what they wouldn't offer any of the services as far as implementation implementing new gas fees and things like that.
So would it be Raymond and the other
Um,
one?
It was,
Andrews.
Raymond is one I potentially would consider. The Manor, however you say that name, and the Andrews Hooper were the two that neither one of us felt would be qualified to handle our account.
And I could just chime in and say that I do think that the difference in the amounts is significant enough to consider. I know that we've had Lamer in for a while. And Mr. Blum, I know you mentioned some of us have relationships with, or like we get to know them over the years and stuff like that. I do know Yo and Yo's used by other cities. I know the county's used them. I've heard positive things about them. So, and knowing
Yeah,
that
we did
handle
verify
others.
their references, both Raymond and Yo, got stellar reports from all of them. And I think St. Clair Shores has Yo now.
They do.
So there have been ones in the area that have changed.
Anyone from council? Ms. Chadwick?
I do know that, even when I was on school board, we utilized Joe and I was very happy with their services when I was on school board there. So you're also saying that with respect to that 167,000 difference, you really don't think that Gatsby amounts would equate to that? Is that like your best guesstimate?
Best guess, right. Knowing which ones are coming down the road and how involved they will be, I do not see us getting anywhere near that number.
All right, well, go ahead.
Did you have a question?
No?
I would move that we award the audit services bid for FY '24 through FY '28 to Yo and authorize the city manager to execute all necessary documents related to this contract.
Is there support?
I'll second that.
All right, any other discussion? All right, please call the roll.
Councilmember Shadlick,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld.
Yes. Moving on to item F, schedule a public hearing for the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund Loan Project.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to schedule a public hearing at the City Council meeting on May 21st, 2024, to allow public comment regarding the application to the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lake and Energy, the funding through Drinking Water State Revolving Fund Loan Project for lead water service line replacements.
Is there support?
Second that.
Any questions? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes?
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick.
Yes.
All right, moving on to item G, approval of the massage therapy business license for Tranquil Body Lux located at 23801 Gratiot Avenue, Suite 100. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'll motion we approve the massage therapy business license for Tranquil Body Lux located at 23801 Gratiot, Suite 100.
Is there support?
Support.
Is there any questions? Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick.
Yes.
Moving on to item H, approved donation of 1998, how do I say that? Something. Ladder truck to Macomb Community College Fire Academy. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Sure, Mr. Mayor, I will motion that we approve the donation of the 1998 Sutphen ladder truck to Macomb Community College in an as-is condition.
Support.
All right. Motion and support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
All right, moving on to item I, discussion of joint committee between the school district and the city. And I'll, I guess, just jump in. Mr. Gruenberg, president of the school board, reached out to me about the idea of a joint committee. I think we still need to have annual meetings with the school board that we should try to set up, but having a smaller group that can kind of have more regular discussion was sort of the idea to facilitate planning. Does council have any questions about the information in the packet? There wasn't much, but.
So this would kind of be like a smaller group, say, like an ad hoc almost committee?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think they've already approved it, from what I was told on the school board side, and they were just waiting for us to kind of get the ball rolling. I'd like to serve on it and ask one other council member to do it as well.
Happy to volunteer my time.
All right. Any questions?
I was looking at some of these annual meetings we had with them for a while, but then, of course, COVID kind of broke that down, and we haven't had one since. But we talked about some good topics. I think some of them, frankly, were pretty successful, and some maybe are just things we need to do every year or something that COVID kind of, like the student shadowing, we did that a couple times before, and we've talked about that. And should probably try to do that again now that COVID is not an issue like it was, stuff like that.
All right. So there's not a recommended motion, but I guess, I guess I'll make a motion to direct administration to create this joint committee with the school board and designate myself and Mr. DeMonico to the committee.
Second.
That's it. All right, please call the roll.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Pashadlik,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
All right. Oh, sorry. Do you have anything to add? Moving on to item J, approve appointment to the DDA board. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Sure, Mr. Mayor, I'll move we approve the appointment of Cynthia Hood to the Downtown Development Authority Board with a term to expire September 1, 2026.
Okay. Is there support?
Support.
And I believe she's in the audience, I think. If you want to wave, just so we know who you are. Hi.
Let's wave back.
All right. Please call the roll.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Pashadlik,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld.
Yes.
Mayor, if I may, Ms. Hood has done an incredible job over the years of maintaining the children's garden and adding her own loving touch. So we want to thank her for that. We appreciate everything she does.
Thank you. All right. We'll move on to, I lost my spot. Thank you. Item K, appointments to the social media ad hoc committee. Ms. Pashadlik?
I would move to appoint the following resident to the social media ad hoc committee, John Hoffman. I'd like to do it
Separately?
individually, yes.
Is there support?
Yeah, I support that.
I'd like to discuss it a little bit. Before the meeting, I think John Hoffman was the person I was going to vote for. I know Miss, I'm sorry, what's your last name? Head? Appeared today and expressed interest in it. I spoke to Mr. Hoffman actually earlier today before the meeting, asking about his interest in the committee. He said he was interested, but understood there were other people interested as well. I think because she has shown up and spoke today, I think I might want to, and just so council knows where I'm at, I think I definitely want to appoint Alyssa Diebold as one of the candidates. I know that she's been, I'll say, very active, reaching out to administration on social media issues. She cares a lot about this issue and brought it to her attention early on. So I definitely want to appoint her. And I think Ms. Head is the person I think I would like to see as the other person, is my position on that. How does council feel?
I'd be willing to amend that motion and support those three candidates as well.
Two candidates, or?
Did you say, I thought you said Alyssa.
Oh,
Or
so,
just two?
so, yeah, two. I was leaning towards Mr. Hoffman. I'm sort of changing my mind hearing the other candidate.
So you're saying Alyssa and Ms. Head?
Yes, is who I would like to see, yeah.
Okay, my misunderstanding. Okay. I'd be fine with amending my motion.
I mean, I just want to hear I think we all know Mr. Hoffman. He's involved in community gardens, so.
He's very involved, yes.
Yeah. He won't, I don't think he'll be offended not being appointed either, but, and I think some meetings were gonna be in person. He doesn't do that as often. Well, there's probably not gonna be a huge amount of meetings either. So, yeah, I think I'd go with Ms. Diebold and Ms. Head.
I would withdraw my support for the main motion and support your second motion.
All right, so, do you want to restate that just so it's clear?
Yes, of course. I would move that we appoint the following residents to the Social Media Ad Hoc Committee: Alyssa Diebold and, I'm sorry, Ms. Head's first name is
Chelsea.
Chelsea, I'm sorry, Chelsea Head.
I'll second that.
All right. Any other discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Pashadlik?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes. Moving on to approval of the special event application, Knights of Columbus Memorial Day Parade, May 27, 2024. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I would move to approve the special event application for the Knights of Columbus Memorial Day Parade on May 27th, 2024.
I'll second that.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilmember Pashadlik?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Right, moving on to payrolls and bills. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Oh, yeah.
Anyone?
Our usual motion maker for this is not here. Mr. Mayor, I'll motion we pay the bills in the amount of $2,708,147.20.
Support.
Any questions? Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Pashadlik?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Moving on to the second hearing of the public. The second hearing of the public is now open. Would anyone wish to be heard? Right, just step up here, state your name. I'm sorry?
There's three of us on the same topic, we come together.
Yeah, you can stand together, you can speak separately. Each of you has 3 minutes.
Certainly, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, council members. My name is Sylvia Orduno. I'm a Detroit resident, but a longtime community organizer in the Southeast Michigan area. Since about 1997, I've been working on water affordability issues with residents across the area, people that have been struggling to pay their water bills, no fault of their own, but as you all know, costs have been going up over the years. I have also been working very closely in the past several years, this last year in particular, with Senator Stephanie Chang and over 60 stakeholders, including local water utilities, elected officials, community-based organizations, and other folks who are very much invested in trying to get statewide water affordability passed. We come to you requesting your support in a resolution in support of the legislation. We know that in fact, I'm sorry, I should have passed these out to you. I didn't know if there was a clerk.
If you want to hand something just to Mr. Plum on the end. Yeah, thank you.
And so we have been trying to bring more attention to the issues of the statewide affordability package of bills, but also to really call attention to the need in South Macomb County especially. We have been working with residents in the area. In fact, just a couple of months ago, we had a forum at the UAW Hall in Sterling Heights where we talked to residents. We've been working a lot with faith-based organizations as we really try to understand what are those issues that impact members of their congregations and how it is that social service agencies can be more responsive to the needs. One of the things that we know is being said is that there's no need for statewide legislation because Macomb County, as other communities in the Glewa district, have coverage through the RAP program. We know that it's inadequate funding. We've been talking to RAP leadership around this, and they say that the need is growing. More people are applying for the program, but there's a finite amount of funding, given the way that the lease agreement was structured with the city of Detroit. The statewide legislation now offers greater security for residents that are struggling with this problem. And so we know that it is a statewide issue, but it hasn't really gotten the attention that it needs outside of select places like Detroit, Flint, Benton Harbor, where we had emergency management problems for many years. So we're asking for your consideration of a resolution and support. We know that it's something that you've been looking at, and this is also National Drinking Water Week. And so we know that it's important too. I'm glad to see that you're gonna have a hearing soon about the SRF funds. I've also been doing work as community advocate around that. I sit on the state's Drinking Water Advisory Council that was formed after the lead and copper revision rules. So I've been very active in these spaces, as well as in national groups with EPA to also make sure that we've got equity in terms of how SRF funding comes down to the states. So we've been following this very closely.
You have about 10 seconds.
Thank you. And we would next like to ask if you will consider also maybe having this as an agenda item in a future meeting, or perhaps allowing for a discussion on this in between council meetings. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rosalind Walker, and my son and his wife and children live in Eastpointe, and sometimes they have problems with paying their bills. So with this bill being passed, I'm quite sure it will help all residents in Eastpointe. So it's like you say you have assistance, but assistance is not always helpful. You need something in place that's going to be there permanently, because assistance run out. You say you get on the program for 6 months or something like that, but once that program over, you have to start all over again. So with this bill put in place, it will help all the residents in Eastpointe and all over the city of Detroit or the state of Michigan. Thank you.
Thank you.
And my name is Alton McIntyre. I do the same work as my cohorts here with affordable water. And what I do is go door to door and let the residents know about the Lifeline program and how tremendous it is to help them with their bills. Because it has 3 tiers. It has the tier $18 per month, and then it has a tier of $46, then it has a tier of $56. And those tiers are set up for homeowners and working class people. You may have people in Eastpointe that's on assistance and need affordable water. The affordable water plan will help us all throughout Detroit, Eastpointe, and throughout Michigan. Like I said, like she said, we went to Benton Harbor, Flint, and throughout the upper greater Michigan, stressing this same concern. And we're speaking with Stephanie Chain and different senators, different reps. Rep Paez, which is our 13th congressional rep in Detroit, we met with her, and AG Dana Nessels. We're all on board with this, so we're just asking you guys' support.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Would anyone else wish to be heard?
Can I be heard again or no?
You can.
Okay. Just want to clarify a few things. I've been an Eastpointe resident since 1966 when I was 1 year old. I do live just east of Kelly Road. I remember what Kelly Road used to be like, and I am not opposed to anything that's going to improve the city or improve that area. I mean, as a child, I went to Kelwood Elementary and Kelly Junior High School. I had friends that lived all up and down Kelly Road. We used to be able to walk to Kelly and hop a bus down 8 Mile and visit people in Detroit. I remember what it used to be like. So this is a good project. My concern is just the priorities. I really feel that focusing on cleaning up the businesses, getting rid of, the abandoned buildings, making it more attractive, wider sidewalks, I'm, good with that. But my concern is this focus on redesigning and reconstructing the roads. I feel that that's where the focus is and not so much on what would more immediately benefit the residents. And also too, we all want a nice place to go to, but when it's in your front yard or your backyard or on your street, those residents need to be taken into consideration, I feel, first and foremost, especially when there are so many of them. I really don't have a dog in this fight. I'm good with whatever the majority wants, but I feel that we really need to reach out to the people that live on Kelly Road and right near Kelly Road and get their opinion, explain to them what possibly could be happening, and we kind of have to go with them first, I think. It's always safety first, but I feel Kelly Road currently is very safe as far as traffic. Your statistics show it. And then we have to support the residents that live there because, that's not, a lot of these people, especially in the multi-unit co-ops, they are seniors, they are there permanently, they own where they're living, they're not just renters, and they are going to be there for the long term, and they do.
You have 30 seconds?
They do depend on Kelly Road and being able to enter and exit safely. So again, it's a great project. I'm behind the beautification 100%. Just a little bit of caution as far as redesigning and reconstructing everything. Thanks again.
Anyone else wish to be heard? Anyone else? Seeing none, the second hearing of the public is closed, and we will move on to mayor and council reports. Councilman Carley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a few things. First of all, Saturday, you might know that is the pickup by the mail carriers. Put your canned goods on your porch, and the mail carriers will pick them up. And they will go to different churches throughout our community to help those who can't go to the grocery store. So I know if you only put 5 or 6 cans there, that's still going to help if you multiply that by 13,000 homes that we have in Eastpointe. Secondly, I pitch in again for your deposit cans that you're going to take over to the library. The Friends of the Library use that money to buy things for the kids again. There we go with the kids, right? So if you can't take them over there, call me and I'll come pick them up. Put them on your porch and I will pick them up and take them over to the library. Council members, as you know, I've been on the cruise committee since 1999, and we did send a letter out to you to find out if you're going to participate in the VIP parade. We really need to know that as soon as possible because it's extremely hard for me to find 21 convertibles. So please, when they're going to come out, let us know so we can get you done. You want to be there at 12:30 that day. And you got your letter, it says no sign, so just bring your old smiley self. Okay? All right. Chief and I went to lunch. Where did we go to lunch? Where did we go to lunch?
You hit me with that one.
The chamber.
Yeah, it was, what's the place on 14th?
Andiamos.
Andiamos, that's it.
Tell the folks what.
I couldn't remember.
Tell the folks what you received is fantastic.
It was great. We were given by the chamber, I believe it's a Southeast Michigan chamber, but we were given $2,000 for our animal shelter to help purchase cages and any kind of materials that we need for the shelter.
How's the shelter going?
It's going pretty well.
Is it?
Yeah, we're in the new building at DPW, or not new building, but in the new space. The floor's working out great, easily cleanable. We're having a few issues with the kennels, but we're gonna use some of that money to purchase some better kennels than what we have right now temporarily. So we're holding a lot more dogs, which is a good thing.
For those of you who watched the last inauguration of our president, you've seen Amanda Gorman stand up there and read the poem that she wrote, 22 years old. So there are so many good things in here, but I want to end my share tonight on a real positive note, that you can leave here feeling pretty good, not only for this community, but feel good about yourself too, which is very important. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens. But one thing is certain: if we merge our mercy and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Pashadlik.
I'd like to wish everybody this National Teachers Day. So I'd like to recognize all those teachers who work so diligently to educate our children, especially my daughter, who happens to be a teacher as well. So I'd like to wish them all well and thank you for educating our kids. We appreciate it, and our adults as well. I'd like to welcome Chelsea. Thank you for your interest in the committee. It's always good to see new people and new faces, to be interested in our commissions, and very happy that you applied, and thank you for showing up for the meeting as well. I was gonna congratulate you, Mariah, and wish you a happy Mother's Day, happy first Mother's Day. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Oh, that's right.
with your daughter.
That's the first one. Yay.
And lastly, I'd like to thank our city attorney. You know, he does so much for our community that people don't realize. When we had Earth Day cleanup, Rich even showed up, as well as Kim, and they helped clean up down Kelly Road. And it was really nice to see you guys, especially devoting your own time and talents to our city, and it shows the dedication, and you know, we really appreciate that. That's very good to see how wonderful you both are for our community. I want to thank you for that. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman DeMonico.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to copy some of yours, Councilwoman. Happy Mother's Day, Ms. Walton, and also to you, Councilwoman Pashadlik. And thanks, yes, Rich and Kim and the 26 other people, including both of you here, and for coming out to the Beautification Commission litter cleanup. A lot of people came out this year, cleaned up Kelly pretty well. Thought we can cover more ground on Kelly than on 8 Mile for sure. The median takes a few extra people on the 8 Mile median, but it was good. So thanks everyone for coming out. If you missed it, next year we usually like last Saturday in April, so mark that in your calendar somewhere around there. Give or take a week or two. And then also coming up in a couple Mondays here on the 27th is Memorial Day, and we'll be doing our parade on Memorial Day like usual. The PD and DPW will be helping out with that. Thank you in advance. And just come out on Stevens from the Military Museum over to Spindler Park. We'll start at the Military Museum, go over to Spindler Park. You know, you can just set up a chair, you know, and watch, or you can go on, just let me know if you're interested in participating or know a group or interested in donating. We can accept donations online and everything to help offset the cost. The parade committee pays for the DPW and police costs so that it doesn't cost the city anything. So just let me know. Otherwise, hopefully see you there. It starts at 11 a.m. And then, what was I? Oh, Mr. Curley, count me in for the cruise.
Okay.
Do you want me to respond to the mail also? Or,
I see another head shaking, yes. And Mayor, what about you?
Yes.
And city manager? Okay, thank you.
Oh, I didn't know he was going to play hardball with everyone else. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to put you on the spot there.
That's 4 convertibles I gotta have.
Well, I'm actually working on my nephew Brendan, so I'm hoping that his convertible will be ready by then.
Well, we'll
So
push
fingers
it.
crossed.
Yeah.
He's working on dropping an engine, so.
Beautiful.
But he's young, He
Yeah.
can do it.
He'll get
I've
it.
got faith, so.
Excuse me, fans, sorry about that.
Anything further?
No, all set, sorry. Yep.
Okay. By the way, you can cram me in. If you can't find enough convertibles, we can cram in together. It's not going to be an issue.
All right, I may have to do that.
Well, thank you to Chelsea Head and Cynthia Hood for getting involved. I appreciate it, and thank you for coming tonight. Thank you to everyone else for coming too and speaking. Welcome back, Mariah. Congratulations. Congratulations to Ms. Homan too. I think she's happy to have you back. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to go into closed session.
Motion, we go into closed session for settlement strategy pursuant to MCL 15.268(1)E.
Support.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes. And we'll go into closed session at 8:12. All right.
Motion for adjournment, so moved.
One moment. Reconvening the meeting at 8:48 PM. Is there a motion
Yeah.
to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld.
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick.
Yes.
All right, meeting adjourned at 8:49.